Thank you for purchasing the silencer. With this acquisition, you express your fondness for good music and the fact that you are willing to progress musically on your instrument. I'm really proud to welcome you to the fast-growing silencer family. Well, my name is Sylvain and I'm looking forward to giving you some tips concerning the handling of the silencer and some instructions for your first exercises with it. Many famous saxophonists are convinced that mouthpiece exercises are one of the best methods to improve the sound of woodwinds. Furthermore, embouchure, breathing and articulation can be trained optimally through mouthpiece exercises. The short mouthpiece exercises shown in this video, only 5 minutes per day, are the key to a higher level of sound and intonation on your instrument. As a matter of fact, through mouthpiece exercises you train exactly those muscles that are of special importance while playing the saxophone or the clarinet. First, for the sound. As you know, your instrument, your mouthpiece and your reed have a comparatively little impact on your sound. You, on your own, have a much bigger influence. The necessary adjustments are made in the areas of the mouth, throat and larynx. Exactly those muscles are the ones we train through the mouthpiece exercises. Second, for the intonation. Through the mouthpiece exercises you will learn to hear better. You will learn to adjust the pitch through changes in the areas named before. One example, I put my instrument out of tune. Apparently, I'm much too high. Through changes in the mouth and the larynx only, I can tune correctly. Notice that I change neither the tension in the lips nor the jaw pressure. Third, for special effects, for example bending or vibrato. For the most part, bending changes the pitch through the muscles in the areas explained already. Fourth, for high tones. Certainly, you want to play 1 octave higher than the usual pitch range on your instrument. This is easily achieved through mouthpiece exercises. As a matter of fact, high tones are nothing else than harmonics. You jump from harmonic to harmonic through changing the position of the tongue and the larynx. I'll play you a series of harmonics while fingering a B flat. Everything else happens inside here. Notice how easily this is done without any biting or red head. Of course, there is one big disadvantage. The tone produced with the mouthpiece alone is loud and penetrating. Trouble with the neighbors is inevitable. Here, a short demonstration. Apparently, this was too much for my neighbor. I have to play more quietly. Here, the silencer is a solution. With a put-on mouthpiece mute, the volume is remarkably damped. You can practice at any time, whether night or day, and in any place, and all this very quietly. Now, I'll try it again. As you could see, the silencer reduced the volume from 96 to 78 decibels, a whole 18 decibels less. The non-scientists here can figure the following comparison. We hear the volume 8 times lower. Basically, you can take the mouthpiece to everywhere, and you can also practice with it everywhere.
Bin ich schon dran? Ja. Zweimal Cappuccino und einmal Kaffee bitte. Cappuccino.
You can practice in the hotel, in the elevator. You can play while waiting on the airport. You can practice in a cafe. You can practice on the escalator. There are 5 different types of silencers. One for the soprano saxophone, the alto saxophone, the tenor saxophone, the baritone saxophone, and one for the clarinet. It is made of high quality plastics, easy to use and easy to maintain. The silencer's assembly is simple. Stick the silencer with a slightly rotating movement into the mouthpiece. Each time after finishing the exercises, please pull the silencer again, slightly rotating it out of the mouthpiece. Now you can easily screw off the silencer cap and separate it from the insertion. Clean all three parts under water. Cleaning agents are not necessary. When the parts are dry, stick the insertion into the cap and then screw the cap into the housing. That's it. Now it gets serious. Try to play a full and constant tone with the mouthpiece, with the right embouchure, the right support, and at first without the silencer. By the way, for exercises concerning the embouchure and the support, I recommend you to have a look at the enclosed handbook and to study the corresponding paragraphs. It is very useful to get an experienced teacher too. He will give you additional tips, correct possible mistakes, and make sure that you don't get used to something wrong. Okay, let's play a tone on the mouthpiece. Normally it is the highest note you can play on the particular mouthpiece. We call it the target tone. The pitch of the tone varies depending on the size of the mouthpiece and on the manufacturer. I'll give you some examples. Soprano sax, alto sax, tenor sax, bari sax, clarinet. Now let's do the same with the put-on silencer. The produced tone now is remarkably quieter. It is very important not to change the embouchure. If it doesn't work at the beginning, it could be easier for you to screw off the cap of the silencer while having the first rise. Then just try until you produced a resonant tone. This was the first step on your way to the perfect sound. When you start with your first mouthpiece exercise, you will wonder how to play different notes with your mouthpiece only. The principle is pretty easy. You have to feel what happens in your mouth and in your larynx when you are singing or whistling. The tongue, the muscles and the larynx are moving. This is very similar to playing the mouthpiece. You can observe this on your own when doing the following test. Speak E, A, A, and keep in mind what your tongue is doing. During E, the middle part of the tongue is at the top, near to the palatine. During A, at the bottom, far from the palatine. Now, I whistle with E, A, A positions of the tongue. As you can notice, the pitch is changing. During E, we have the highest tone, during A, the lowest. Thanks to this very important discovery, you now know the following. To whistle different tones, you have to vary the position of the tongue between E and A. Strictly speaking, there are many other processes in the mouth cavity and the throat. But it is not important to know them exactly because they are happening unconsciously. You never know exactly which muscles move when whistling or speaking. Now try to whistle without sound or whisper-like. Again, as you probably expected, the pitch does change. Now, at the end of this test, play on your mouthpiece, start with E and change gradually to A. The pitch is changing. Well done, you made it. As you begin, this won't be very easy for you. But did you learn to whistle in one single day? You can't expect to be instantly able to play a whole octave on the mouthpiece. But now you know the principle. If you practice this regularly, you will play an octave on your mouthpiece in a few weeks. Gradually, it gets clear why mouthpiece exercises improve your intonation on the instrument. You learned how to change the pitch in your body while playing on your instrument. Contrary to the mouthpiece, it isn't an octave on the instrument, but the range is big enough to correct wrong notes immediately. Later, you will learn how to train and to improve your ear. Make sure that the embouchure, the tension in the lips and the jaw pressure don't change while varying the pitch. All changes have to happen in the larynx and the oral cavity only. This is very important. Furthermore, it is crucial that you work on your intonation from the beginning, simultaneously with the first exercise. Therefore, we recommend a piano or a keyboard. If you don't have one, you should really borrow or buy one. Simple models are available in every music store at a pretty cheap rate. Such an instrument is absolutely enough for our purposes. Let's play the target tone and look for the nearest note on the keyboard. Okay, I found the note and I don't even have to know its name. Now I sync this note and play it with the mouthpiece. Thereby I correct the intonation immediately with the larynx and the tongue. At the beginning, an electronics tuner can be very helpful too. Now you play the next lower note on the keyboard, sing it and play it in your mouthpiece. Thereby you always control the pitch. After some days you can add the third note. The principle stays the same. Play the note first on the keyboard, then sing them, and finally play them on your mouthpiece. This way you extend the pitch range step by step and you improve your intonation. In a few weeks you will be able to sing and play a whole octave. For example, the major scale. It is also useful to play the scale in different volumes. Another useful exercise goes like this. Close your eyes and play any note in the pitch range on the keyboard. Sing the note and then look for it on the mouthpiece. La. Gradually, you will hit the tone on your mouthpiece instantly and very precisely. Now, you have effectively mastered the second step on the way to the virtuoso. Congratulations! Now you can play a range of 5 to 8 notes with a pretty good intonation. You have the basis to start with harmonic exercises. In our handbook Sound Training you will find several examples. If you want to, you can also compose melodies on your own. As an example, I practice the major second. At first, on the keyboard, then I sing it, and then I play it on the mouthpiece. La, la. It is important to always correct the pitch immediately. By the way, even if you don't want to make your career as a singer, singing is a very helpful thing when playing an instrument. In doing so, you can simultaneously train your ear. Now, try the same with the third. La la la. Meanwhile, your ear will improve automatically through the tone training. The next exercise also helps. It is composed out of minor thirds only. It goes like this. Always remember to control and to correct the intonation. In the next, actually very difficult exercise, you will practice a 5/4 interval. Okay, take a root and imagine a fifth upwards. Sing it and then play it. Then the last note turns to the new root. From this you imagine a quart downwards. Sing it and play it. The whole exercise goes like this. Da, da. Da, da. Da, da. And so on. Don't forget, always control the intonation with the keyboard and correct it immediately. To make significant progress, it is important to practice regularly. It is of no use to practice once a week for a full hour. If you invest 5 minutes every day, you will achieve your goals much earlier. Furthermore, practicing doesn't become a must, so you'll keep having fun when playing your instrument. You'll feel how your ear gets better and better while advancing in the training. Like this, you can now forget the excuses. The D on your instrument was out of tune or the instrument was cold. You and your audience will notice that you simply play more and more in tune. Consequently, you already left behind the third step on your way to the perfect sound. Within a few months, you became an advanced mouthpiece player. You played the pitch range of an octave and you know pretty well how a third or a quarter sounds. Your singing isn't perfect yet, but remarkably better than before. To finish this introduction, you will play a whole melody on your mouthpiece as a kind of final concert. La Paloma is a well-known song. Sing the tune La Paloma and accompany yourself on a keyboard. La Then play the whole melody on the mouthpiece and, if possible, accompany yourself on a keyboard. You can also take a recording or work with computer software as band in a box. For this exercise, an exact intonation is very important, as you already know. As a variation, play the melody on a mouthpiece and the second voice on a keyboard. You made it. You can play different melodies on your mouthpiece. Is this really everything? With minimal effort of 5 minutes per day, you made your first steps on the way to a flawless sound and to the saxophone or clarinet virtuoso. This can be everything. Now it starts more than ever. Every child knows that the first steps are the most difficult ones. You can now build on this, you know the basics, and you can decide on your own how to advance further. How good or how virtuoso you want to become, it's up to you. But you should definitely still invest the 5 daily minutes for mouthpiece exercises. With the silencer, this is no longer a problem. You can play wherever you want to. On the train, on the escalator, at the airport, or in a cafe. Okay, that was it. I was very pleased to introduce you to the silencer and to explain the first steps to successful mouthpiece exercises. Now it's your turn, or rather your silencer. Pick it up, it's worthwhile. Anyway, I wish you a lot of fun with the silencer and your audience a lot of pleasure from your virtuoso style of playing. Remember, 5 minutes per day is enough, especially when you combine mouthpiece exercises with harmonics and long tone exercises. They are the key to a higher level of sound and intonation on your instrument. It's pretty easy. You have to feel
You have to feel it.
Ja, in guten Filmen machen die das am Ende dann.
Ja.
It is very useful to get an experienced teacher too. Da machen wir neu, da wo Einblendung und Foto steht, weil da ist sowieso neue Einstellung. Ne?
Ja, wir denken.
And, if possible, accompany your song.